Hi, welcome to Introduction to Java Programming using MySQL. In the previous session, we talked about MySQL and how to download, install, configure, and also execute it, specifically using MySQL Workbench. We also used Sakila as our default database and ran a select statement to retrieve all the data that are available in a table called actor. Before I jump into IntelliJ IDEA and introduce you to how to write down a Java application or a Python application, I would like to grab your attention to more detail of using MySQL Workbench and also MySQL Shell. So we can test a little bit of more select statements using MySQL Workbench, which is a graphical user interface for MySQL core, and also MySQL Shell, which is a terminal or a command line tool to connect to MySQL core. So let's get started. In our previous session, we have seen that we could use a Sakila database. As you can see here, Sakila is bold now. This means that this is our default database, so we can easily run any statements like select a statement in order to work with the objects within this database. For example, let's open Sakila database. As you can see here, we have got tables, views, stored procedures, and functions as objects in our database. Let's open tables, and as you can see here, there are several tables in Sakila database. One of them is called actor, and if we can even open actor, we can see that it has columns, indexes, foreign keys, and triggers. So if we even open, let's say, columns, we can see that we have actor ID, first name, last name, and also last update, as you can see here in this select statement. So if by any chance you want to make your database as a default database, you need to write down use and then the name of the database semicolon, and then write down any queries or CRUD operations or any other operations such as create table, create index, or create a stored procedure, or create function, or alter, let's say, a stored procedure, and so on and so forth. So basically, you can write any SQL statements. Now, in the previous lecture, we have seen that we could easily return all the data from table actor when we say select a star from actor semicolon. Now, if we want, by any chance, if we want to return any specific actor ID from this, let's say, table, we can easily say that, for example, select a star from actor and then actor ID is equal to 1. This means that we are just interested in one record in this table. So if I run this query, it will only return actor ID equal to 1. So if you want to return any other actor IDs, you can, like, let's say, use this actor ID number 3, and then when we run it, it will return only actor ID number 3. So this is basically the select statement that you can use in your MySQL Workbench to retrieve your data. Select star will retrieve all the column names, but if you are interested in returning, let's say, any specific columns, not just a star which will return all the columns, but for example, first name and comma, last name. So in that case, we just say that select first name first underline name, comma, last underline name from actor, where actor underline ID is equal to 3 semicolon. Then we can run this. As you can see here, it returns first name and last name related to the actor ID number 3. So this is basically the idea to retrieve your data using the select statement using MySQL Workbench. We have also installed MySQL Shell, which is a terminal or a command prompt. So I'm going to show you how to use this tool if by any chance you don't have access to MySQL Workbench. So let's go and then connect to it and then run a few number of select statements using MySQL Shell. All right, now I have opened MySQL shell. Here it's like a command base or a terminal. Then you first of all you need to connect to MySQL in order to be able to run your queries. So in that case, you just write down \connect, and then in front of connect, you are going to use any username that you have created in order to connect to your database, MySQL database. Since I just created the root, let's say username as with administrative privilege, so I'm going to use root, and then we can simply say that root @localhost, because this we are going to access to MySQL using localhost, which is in my machine. So localhost, and then we have installed it on the port 3306. So in order to connect to MySQL, MySQL core, we need to write down \connect, the name of your username, the name of your host, in that case localhost, and then the port number. So when I press enter, as you can see here, it says that it's creating a session to root @localhost on the port 3306. Now we have connected to the localhost using SSL. Now it is possible to run the query that we have created, for example, in MySQL Workbench also here. In that case, we just write down \SQL. So this means that we would like to write down any SQL command, such as select a statement. Then we can say that select a star, and then from, and then the name of the table was actor, so semicolon. If I press enter, it says that select, oh sorry, I have forgotten to active the database. So first of all, we have to say SQL use first of all Sakila semicolon, and then we can write down \SQL select a star from actor, then semicolon. Let's play. As you can see here, so first we need to active our database, which we have done it also in our MySQL Workbench, and then you can run the select statement. So \SQL use Sakila semicolon will active your database, and then \SQL select a star from actor will return all these values using MySQL shell. So we can also more specifically return the values that we have tested in our let's say MySQL Workbench. So in that case, I can say select a star from actor, and I can say that where actor underline ID is equal to 3, for example, and then semicolon. As you can see here, it only returns the record that is related to the actor ID 3. So we can also be more specific and just return the first name and last name of these records, so ED and Chase, for example. So in that case, we just say first underline name, comma, last underline name from actor, where actor is equal to, where actor underline ID is equal to 3. As you can see here, it only returns first underline name and last underline name as ED and Chase. So this is basically the idea of using MySQL shell, similar to the idea of using, let's say, MySQL Workbench, which I have shown you already. Now that you have learned how to use the select statements in MySQL Workbench and also in MySQL shell, we can also go to develop. We can also go to develop simple Java and also a simple Python application to retrieve these data in our Java or Python application.